Long ago, in a meadow that seemed to hum with life, there lived a tiny firefly named Lumo. This meadow was unlike any other. Wildflowers swayed as though they were dancing with the breeze. The grass shivered whenever the moonlight touched it, and the night always felt alive with whispers of forgotten stories. Most fireflies fluttered happily through this meadow, painting the dark with golden sparkles. But Lumo was different. He was smaller than the others and far more curious. While other fireflies laughed and blinked randomly, Lumo carried with him a strange treasure. A little glass jar tied gently to his back with a ribbon spun from spider silk. What made this jar extraordinary was not just that it held light. It held stars. Yes, tiny, glowing stars, tucked inside like jewels of the heavens. How Lumo collected stars every evening. When twilight turned to night and the first stars appeared in the velvet sky, Lumo would rise high above the meadow. With delicate patience, he would hover near a star, whisper a greeting, and gently guide it into his jar. The stars never resisted. They twinkled joyfully as if they trusted him. The jar on his back glowed like a lantern, shimmering with more brilliance than any ordinary firefly could muster. But this made him different. Too different. The other fireflies teased him endlessly. "Why weigh yourself down, Lumo? Stars belong to the sky, not a silly jar," they giggled. "You'll never keep up with us carrying such a burden." Lumo only smiled. He didn't know why he felt drawn to gather the stars. He simply believed there was a reason. Something bigger than even he understood. A lonely child not far from the meadow was a small village. In a quiet little house, near the edge of the woods, lived a girl named Elara. Elara was unlike the other children in the village. She was frail, often too weak to run in the fields or play by the river. While the children laughed in the sun, she spent most days gazing from her window, watching the world she longed to join. But it was the nights that hurt her most. Lying awake, she would stare at the stars above, whispering secrets into the darkness. She wished for a friend, someone who would understand her loneliness, and one night, when the stars were listening closely, her wish drifted into the meadow, where Lumo heard it. The first visit that evening, Lumo soared toward the village, his jar glowing with starlight. Elara was sitting by her window when she saw him. Her breath caught. "A jar full of stars?" she whispered in wonder. Lumo hovered closer, blinking his own golden light in greeting. Then, with graceful movements, he released a few sparks from his jar, letting them swirl into shapes. Hearts, animals, constellations, dancing in the air just for her. Elara clapped her hands softly, her pale cheeks glowing with delight. "You're my secret friend," she whispered. From that night on, Lumo visited her every evening. He would bring the stars closer, weaving stories in the air, and Elara would wait eagerly, her heart lighter with each visit. Trouble in the jar. But one night, as Lumo prepared his show, he noticed something troubling. One of the stars in his jar was dimming, its light flickering weakly. Alarmed, Lumo asked, "Little star, why are you fading?" The star's voice was faint, like a sigh in the wind. "I belong to the sky. If I stay here too long, I will fade forever." Lumo's heart sank. He had never thought of this. He only wanted to share their beauty. When Elara saw the jar glowing less brightly, she frowned. "Why does it look weaker tonight?" she asked gently. Lumo hesitated. He didn't want to disappoint her, but as he looked at her fragile smile, he realized something profound. Light is not meant to be trapped. It is meant to be shared and then released. The choice that night, Lumo flew high above Elara's house, the jar trembling with stars. With a deep breath, he opened it wide. One by one, the stars floated out, swirling joyfully back into the heavens. But instead of vanishing, they lingered above Elara's home. The entire sky seemed to bloom with light, brighter and more dazzling than she had ever seen. Elara gasped, tears filling her eyes. The whole sky! It's glowing just for me. The stars twinkled back, as if whispering, "You are never alone," a new purpose from then on. Lumo no longer collected stars to keep them. Instead, he carried them just long enough to bring them closer to children who made wishes. He became known among the stars as the Keeper of Wishes, the little firefly who helped starlight reach the earth. Elara grew stronger as her nights became brighter, no longer weighed down by loneliness. She told her villagers, "Some friendships are so magical, they light up the whole sky. And even now, if you wander into the meadow on a summer night and look closely, you might see him. A tiny firefly with a glowing jar, fluttering gently between earth and sky, carrying stars to those who need them most."